Hey kids, it's Mrs. Compton, and to start today's lesson, I had to take a trip to my wallet. I needed one of these. All right, now, if you were one of these, a $1 bill, it's real, which column would it be represented by? So from the 100,000s to the 10,000s, all the way down the line, which column is the $1 bill represented by? All right, I'm gonna guess you probably said the ones column. Did you say the ones column? I hope so. So this would be like $1 right here. If I had a 1 right here, it would be like a dollar bill. Okay, that's important to know because if you know that one piece, it will help you with everything else. Okay, so if I had this, okay, what coin is that? I hope it's a dime. It's a dime. Okay, which column would the dime go into? What do you think? Did you say tenths? That would be the tenths column. So if I put a 1 right here in the tenths column, that would represent 1 dime. All right, now here is the kicker. Not real, but it's representing a penny, right? Okay, so which column would this go in? I'm going to go ahead and guess you're going to tell me it's going to go into the hundredths column, right? And I want you to make the connection there. How many pennies do you need to make a dollar? The answer to that is 100, right? The word part cent, like century, centurion, centipede, that means 100. So when you hear cent, it means something to do with 100. In this case, you need 100 of these to make 1 whole dollar, right? So this would be worth 1/100th. Now, if I wanted to represent that here with my picture, what would 1/100th look like? So I have to think about that. Is this broken into 100 parts? The answer to that is no. It's only broken into 10 parts, right? So if I wanted to just represent a penny or 1/100th, I'd have to go smaller. So I can't do this and do an entire column. That would be worth like a dime. That would be worth 1/10. So I can't do that. So that means I need to break my picture down a little bit more, right? So I'm going to make a 10 by 10 array. And when I get my 10 by 10 array, how many pieces will I have? Do you know the answer to that? I hope so. All right, so I'm going to have 100 pieces. And now I can start thinking about my hundredths because this will be broken into 100 parts. Okay, so I have 100 pieces. And now if I wanted to just represent a penny, right? Just 1 tiny hundredth. I would just do that. So if I had all of these filled in, that would be worth 100 pennies, and that would be equal to $1, right? But this is just 1 out of 100. And the way I would write that, I'm going to put the 1 out of 100 over here so you can see it. The way I would write that is just to put the 1 in the hundredth column. So I have 0 in my ones place because I don't have the whole thing filled in. I have a decimal. I don't have any of the tenths column filled in. So I put a 1 or 0 right there. And then I just have 1 in the hundredths column, like that. So I would read this as 1/100th. I'm going to move this again. So I'm going to write equals 1/100th. It is so hugely important. Oh, you can't even see that. Boop. It is so hugely important that we say this number correctly. This is a number, and it is said 1/100th. 1/100th. We don't say 0.01. And it's really important that you learn how to say it because it gives you the fraction. And then when you're in 5th grade and in 6th grade, you're going to need this for science, metric conversions, and all that good stuff. So make sure you say the decimals correctly. All right, so we can relate pictures to fractions and decimals and to money. Of course, you want to learn your money. You don't want to mess up on your money skills. All right, and then we can use this chart here to help us represent information that we have given to us, right? All right, so I'm going to ask you guys to tell me what a number would look like. All right, so here's your number. If you have a whiteboard, PS, and you're sitting in class and you have one of these, you can draw a 10 by 10 grid on there. Boom, 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 boom. And you can shade in as we go. That would be really fun. All right, so I want to see what it would look like if you shaded in. Gotta get rid of this. 0 holes and 63 hundredths. What would that look like to you? All right, so let's hit pause right now, and I'm going to get mine shaded in, and when we come back, we'll see if we have a match. All right, I'm back. Do we have a match? So what I did was I looked at my numbers, 63 hundredths, and the way I say it is I just take this as a number I would say, like, if nothing else were around it, 63, and then the last column is hundredths, so 63 hundredths. So I looked here and I saw there would be 6 tenths shaded in. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 out of the 10 columns, and then 3 more hundredths. 1, 2, 3. And I know when I have 6 of the 10 columns filled in, that's 60, and then 1, 2, 3 makes 63, right? All right, so you should have a match that looks something like this. All right. Go ahead and erase. I hope you're doing this with me. And I'm going to erase too, and we'll get ready for our next one. All right, kids, this time we've got something a little bit different. So check this out. You probably noticed I have 2 of these 100 grids now. And our new number that I want you to try shading in is 1 and, we say the decimals and, so 1 and 45 hundredths. All right, go ahead and try shading in 1 and 45 hundredths. Now, if you don't have a board to shade in, you can just do a quick sketch, or you can even think about mine. What would that look like? All right, hit pause, and I'm going to do mine, and we'll check back in. Woo, I'm glad I put that one on pause. It took a little while to fill in, right? So we have 1 hole filled in. You can actually see 1, 1. So 1 hole. This is my 1. And then this is my decimal, right? So I'm going to have a part of a hole coming next. So the decimal you can imagine in between, or I could just put it right there next to my 1. And then 45 hundredths. If I were to count each one of these, 1, 2, 3, excuse me, I would get all the way to 45. But I don't want to do that because I know they're in 10. So I'll just go 10, 20, 30, 40, 41, 42, 43, 44, 45. So then when we put them together, I actually think I want to put my 45 hundredths like that. When we put them together, it's the same as 1 and 45 hundredths. So that would be the same as $1.45. You could also think about how much more you would need to get to a whole. You could also think about, I don't know, lots of other things. What are you seeing here? How many tenths are all the way filled in? I can see we have 14 tenths all the way filled in, and then we have 5 hundredths that would be left, right? So we can even start getting creative, like 14 tenths plus 5 hundredths, right? Because that would be 14 tenths and 5 hundredths. So now you even know that that would be the same as 1 and 45 hundredths. Or you could even put 145 100ths, right? There are so many things that you can get and understand just by looking at pictures and modeling with mathematics. It's very important that we remember modeling with mathematics is a standard. We should be learning through pictures. All right, kids, I'll see you next time. Bye.